Hello, and welcome to There Will Always Be Another Book. Today I have a short but extremely pleasant read from my favorite author, Vladimir Nabokov, Pnin. And the reason why I wanted to make a video about this is because recently, just in a Instagram interchange or conversation, somebody was talking about having read Lolita and finding it really interesting but not exactly knowing where to go next, and I recommended this book, which is a 4 out of 4 by the way, because particularly loud airplane, but anyway, I recommended this book because this book was actually the book that made Nabokov popular in the West. This was written and released a year before Lolita was released, but it was actually being written at the same time as Lolita. He sort of wrote Pnin as a cathartic release from the world of Humbert Humbert. And so, a lot of authors have one particular work that defines them, like one standout novel. So obviously Melville wrote a lot, but Moby Dick is just the one book. Hemingway, maybe not so much because he has a lot of great books, but I mean, he won the Nobel Prize for The Old Man and the Sea. It's pretty clear that for Nabokov, Lolita is his one standout work, which in light of the subject matter can make it a bit hard. You can get a sort of one-dimensional view of Nabokov. Anyone who reads Lolita, I think, needs to read Pnin immediately afterwards, because this book is like Timofey Pnin is the anti-Humbert Humbert. He's he's a Russian language teacher at an American university, and the entire book is just about his emigre lifestyle and like trying to adapt. It's a very funny book, and lots of the plot points are about Pnin trying to like weasel his way into getting into like borrowing out books from the university library for longer than he's allowed to, and like getting some teeth surgery, and there's also his like trying to find a place to live and navigate the relationship with like the American hosts, because he's looking for a boarding house. The book is just really funny, and it's so like incredibly anti-Lolita that you need to read it, because you will instantly just get this broadened perspective of what Nabokov is like as an author. It's also, fortunately, a short book, and you can burn through it in maybe a few days, depending on how much you can afford to read. I really liked Pnin. Because my history with Nabokov was that I read Lolita, then I read Pale Fire, but then I read this. I've read so much of Nabokov now that I don't really think about what order should people read him in. I just think that most people are going to read Lolita first, because it is, if they read any Nabokov at all, they're going to read Lolita first, because it is his most popular. But I just hopefully recommend that people give Pnin a try afterwards, because it is a great counter book to Lolita. It also reminds me, this is a weird thing, maybe some spoilers for a couple of Nabokov books. Spoilers for this, Lolita, and Ada. But Pnin was... so right now, actually, I'm reading... what's it called? Despair. I'm reading Nabokov's Despair, which was one of his books written in Berlin, but written in Russian. And I think Despair was the first book that he wrote in Russian and translated himself. I've also read The Losing Defense, and he wrote that in Russian, but he never translated it. He got someone else to write it. And I'm going to make just a video. This probably won't come out for a while, because I want to make a video just on Nabokov's Russian works, so what Nabokov was like in translation. And I'm trying to remember, no, I don't think this happens in The Losing Defense either, but Nabokov seems to have a really interesting relationship with the German language, in that in the intro or the foreword to Despair, he just outright says that he doesn't speak German, despite having lived in Berlin for 10 years. And also, like, he's probably just lying, because Nabokov in the afterword for Lolita says that his English is far inferior than his Russian language, which is just like, you know, you kind of think it's probably a joke, but I'm also terrified to think that he might be right. So he probably speaks perfectly functional, or spoke perfectly functional, fluent German, but just not to his standard. But it's interesting. The reason why, spoilers for those 3 books, is that Nabokov seems to have this trait of having German men be like the kind of men who steal away his love interests, his main character's love interests. So Dick Schiller from Lolita. There's also the man who Ada marries, and I'm blanking on his name, but I'll look it up and pop it up on the screen. And also the man in this book, whose name I've also forgotten, but that I'll pop up, who kind of goes, oh, it's something like, why did I think I would just open to a random page and find it? But anyway, now look at me, I'm just scrolling through to try and find it. I'll look it up. I'll use the magic of editing to say the name, but it's for Pnin's wife as well. And I was like, man, it's not that weird, but it's weird that it's happened this many times, you know? And I wonder if it's happened more times. I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, give Pnin a go. It's a very lovely, light-hearted read. You will be shocked to find that it was written... if all you know about Nabokov is Lolita, you'll be shocked to find that it was written not only by the same author, but literally at the exact same time that he was writing Lolita. And let me know what you think of Nabokov. If there are any other books of his that you think I should check out. I think I've read all of his core Western work, all of his core English works, and I'm working through some of his older stuff now. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you keep on reading, because there will always be another book, and I'll see you in the next video.